Hi, this video is for SAP FICO Training. Here we are covering the topic of general ledger, okay? And within general ledger, there are 4 or 5 subtopics, and this one is document splitting. This entire video is SAP FICO Training related to the general ledger for document splitting. We're talking about document splitting throughout this whole video. The subtopics within document splitting are listed here. And it may seem like a lot, but it's kind of funny how this works, that the longer the description, the shorter the section is. Okay, but at any rate, the topics we're going to discuss is documents, the subtopics: document splitting characteristics, classification of general ledger accounts for document splitting, classification of document types for document splitting, defining document splitting characteristics for general ledger accounting, and defining zero balance clearing account. So as we finish each section, I'll erase it off of the board so that you know that we're done talking about that section. So the highest section you see here, that'll be the one that we're talking about. I'm also going to put up SAP screenshots and highlight the different areas and sections of the screen that we're talking about while we're talking about them. If these videos are helping you all in your SAP FICO training journey, please like, subscribe, share, and comment in the video. Let me know how far along you are in your training. And please let me know if you have any questions or if there's any other topics or things that you would like me to address in these videos. Okay, now that we have all of the formalities out of the way, we'll go ahead and jump right in. Okay, I have a PowerPoint put together as well, and I'll put these screenshots on the screen also so that you all can rock with me. Okay, taking it right from the top. Document splitting for general ledgers. Okay, question: what is the overall goal of document splitting? Okay, the purpose of document splitting is a tool that ensures transactions are accounted for correctly in parallel ledgers. Well, that makes me have another question. What's a parallel ledger? A parallel ledger is a ledger in parallel accounting. And you know me, that gives me another question. What's parallel accounting? Okay. Parallel accounting is a method of accounting that allows a company to produce financial statements using multiple accounting principles. Another question: what does document splitting do? Document splitting automatically splits financial line items by dimension, leaving zero balance if selected, and creates clearing lines to balance dimensions. Okay, so I have some basic terminology here that I want to throw out at you all at the beginning of this video, because once we hit these topics of discussion, I want you to have a good idea about what we're talking about. I really strongly recommend you all wrap your head around the terminology that I'm about to throw out. And it's kind of weird because these are words that we hear all the time, right? But when related to SAP, they have a really specific meaning that if you don't know that we're talking about document splitting in SAP, you might think the words are meaning something else, right? Okay, for example, characteristic or field. So this is characteristic / field. What this means in relation to document splitting, the definition according to document splitting for general ledgers is, okay, for characteristics / field, they are fields in the data structure of a ledger that are used to create clearing lines and split line items. For example, a profit center and a segment. These are characteristic / fields that'll be used interchangeably, characteristic or field, okay? Categories. How many times have we heard categories inside and outside SAP? Okay. Categories in relation to document splitting are predefined objects that contain the logic for splitting based on the type of account. Okay. And I got a list of them in this whole presentation. There'll be about 15 of them. All right. Business transaction, a financial transaction that triggers the splitting of a document. Okay, and document type. Each financial document is assigned a document type that determines how splitting behaves. Okay, so what can you expect in this video? You can expect that we will identify document splitting characteristics, that will classify account categories, GL account categories, we'll classify document types for splitting, we'll configure splitting characteristics, and we'll define zero balance GL accounts to offset splitting entries. This right here, except like in clear English. Okay. So let's do some history of document splitting. So when document splitting was first introduced, it was a special feature in the special purpose ledger way back when. After that initial introduction, sometime after, it was then included as standard functionality in the new general ledger. Now fast forward to today, document splitting commonly provides balanced financial statements. Okay, now we're digging in. We're getting started seriously. All right, document splitting characteristics. First point. All right, what is the purpose of document splitting? The purpose of document splitting is to create complete financial statements for fields / characteristics that are customized, that are configured in customizing. What fields / characteristics are available for document splitting? Segment, profit center, business area, fund, also known as public sector accounting, and customer defined characteristics, also referred to as customer fields. Okay, let's do an example. Okay, an example, our example is going to be a vendor invoice posting. So what does that mean, a vendor invoice posting? So we work for a company, okay? And our company decided to order a product from a vendor. Somebody picked up the phone and said, hey, vendor, we need to order this product from you, okay? The vendor says, hey, no problem, I got that in stock now. So the vendor puts it all together, ships it off to us. And as soon as they send that shipment off, they're sending an invoice saying, hey, pay me. We had an agreement that you wanted some of my product. I sent you my product. It's on the way. I want you to pay me now, please. Okay? All right. So in this vendor invoice, This invoice has multiple expense line items, which is common, okay? These expense line items are assigned to different cost centers within our company. The different cost centers within our company points to expenses. The different cost centers within our company point expenses to different profit centers. We need a full and balanced financial statement on the profit center level, so we must split these line item expenses by profit center. Okay, so let's take a peek at this example. I have a visual here to help walk us through this. Note that assigned to profit center A, expense line item 1, expense 1, is $5,000. Assigned to profit center B, expense line item 2 is $10,000. And the input tax is at a tax rate of 10%. Okay, I got this section highlighted in a red rectangle to let you know that that's what I'm talking about there. This is the invoice that we received from the vendor from us ordering our product. Okay, question. How are the profit center allocation amounts determined? Answer to the question. The system calculates the ratio between the expense line items to determine the allocation amounts. In this case, it's a 1-to-2 ratio. So notice here how we have two expenses. We have expense 1 and we have expense 2. Expense 1 is for $5,000, expense 2 is for $10,000. So that's how we calculate our ratio. You notice expense 1, $5,000, that $5,000 goes into $10,000 two times. So we got one $5,000 and we got we got one $5,000 and that goes into $10,000 two times. So that's a 1-to-2 ratio, okay? And that's how the system calculates the ratios between expense line items. And based on that ratio, it can calculate how to split up the tax and things like this. Okay, question. What does the system do after it determines the profit center allocation amounts? Okay, the system takes the original line item, then splits it, consequently posting additional line items where expenses and input tax are allocated at the same ratio at the GL level for each profit center. So I just said a lot there. I'm going to pause here for a second, allow you to take that all in. Note that the rectangle, the red rectangle highlighting this section here, that's the split portion of our document. At the top, that's our original vendor invoice that came in, the vendor saying, hey, pay me, okay? And our SAP system has taken this original invoice and has split it up. And that's what's highlighted on the bottom section. Okay, question. Where can these split line items be viewed? These split line items can be viewed in the general ledger view only. Another question. Where can't these split line items be viewed? These split line items can't be viewed in the entry view where the document is posted in general accounting. Okay, switching gears. We're going to now go to classification of ledger accounts for document splitting. We finish this first guy, let's wipe them out. Okay, moving right along. How does the system know how GL accounts should be split? The system knows how GL accounts should be split by assigning GL accounts to item categories. What are item categories? Item categories are predefined objects that contain the logic for splitting based on the type of account. So the menu path that will follow to classify GL accounts for splitting is financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions, document splitting, classify GL accounts for document splitting. So when we follow that menu path, it'll lead us to this screen. And I have highlighted here with the red rectangles, okay? Here you define the GL account ranges and define categories. Okay, moving on. These are the standard item categories available out of the box. You got everything from balance sheet to zero balance posting, company code, cash, discount clearing, customer, vendor, cash account, and then it goes on, okay? And note the one on the bottom there, custom 80,000 customer specific item category. If none of those other standard item categories are good enough for you, you can make your own custom logic in that last one. Okay. Switching focus again. Okay. We're now going to go on to classification of document types for document splitting. I told you these sections aren't going to take long. Don't feel ashamed to pause the video or rewind it. I don't want to do a whole lot of repetition. You can watch this video as many times as you want, right? Okay. Question. How do you determine how the splitting is performed for each document type? Assign a transaction variant to each document type. The menu path to classify document types for document splitting: financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions, document splitting, classify document types for document splitting. All right, guys. Here in this transaction, you can assign a business transaction and variant for each document type. Take a minute, look around here. You see to the left, farthest left column, you got your type. Then you have the description of the type next to that. And here I have highlighted the transaction and variant for each document type. And we have a description and a name of whether it's a standard cost or a secondary cost. Moving forward, the business transactions are predefined, and I have them all listed here for you. Everything from unspecified posting to transfer posting from P&L to balance sheet account, so forth and so on. Study these as you need. These are business transactions predefined by SAP in the system. Okay, question. How can you enhance a business transaction to have different splitting rules? By using the business transaction variant. All right, moving right along. This section's done, and now we're moving on to defining document splitting characteristics for general ledger accounting. Question. What does document splitting characteristics tell the system? Which field, profit center, segment, etc., which field determines the document line items should be split? Require zero balance in these fields, profit center, segment, or not? Okay, menu path to define document splitting characteristics. Financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions, document splitting. Define document splitting characteristics for general ledger accounting. Okay, on this screen, new fields can be added by clicking new entries. I have it highlighted in red there, a red rectangle. Okay, so field, I'm going to talk to you guys about each column here. Okay, field, the document splitting characteristic being added. That's what field is there. Remember, profit centers, segments, so forth and so on. There's about 5 fields that can be put in there. Okay, it's all starting to make sense. I hope so. This zero balance column. When selected, the system checks if balance is 0. If not, it generates additional clearing lines in the document. Next column. Partner field. It establishes the sender-receiver relationship in the clearing lines that are created. Next line. Mandatory field. When selected, this field must be filled with a value after document splitting. All right, and we're moving right along as promised. Ain't gonna be here long at all, are we? Okay. Last section, defining zero balance clearing account. Question, when do you have to configure a zero balance account? If you require balanced financial statements on a certain field's level. Remember fields definition? Drop in the comments if you remember the fields definition. Field/characteristics. Question, when does the system generate additional clearing items and post them to the zero balance clearing account? When the zero balance setting is selected and the system discovers there is a balance for the related object after document splitting. The menu path to define a zero balance clearing account: financial accounting, general ledger accounting, business transactions, document splitting, define zero balance clearing account. Okay, so I have the account keys and names highlighted here. So for 000, I need you guys to know that that's for postings from financial accounting. Okay? 001, on the other hand, is for postings from controlling. Last but not least, 003 is for postings for cash pooling. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to click the gray box next to account key 000. You'll see it's highlighted in this red square here. Once you click that gray box, it'll select that entire row. Okay? And after that's selected, I want you to double click accounts on the left. I have that highlighted in the red rectangle for you as well. All right, good job, guys. All right, so next here, you want to enter the chart of accounts. I have that highlighted in the top red rectangle. After that, you want to enter the account used as the zero balance clearing account. You can put that in here. All right, guys, if you're having a good time, I got some bad news. That's it for this training video, but I got some good news too. You can watch it again. You can share it with a friend. So I hope these videos are helping you. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and until next time, thank you for joining me on my SAP FICO training journey as I'm joining you on yours. All right, thanks a lot. Take care.